Welcome back to the show, guys. And you know, Jacqueline is just one of the reasons.
Inspiring.
Very inspiring story. One of the reasons why we are participating, and we think that you should come out and participate in this amazing Super Cities Walk this weekend, happening at different cities across Canada, but here locally as well.
It's a great event, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. And again, I hope that our viewers take part as well.
We're moving on to something completely different now. We've had him on the show before, and he's back again. Local producer of music and film. We've got Vikas Kohli joining us in studio.
How's it
Vikas,
going?
How are you?
Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
He brought some snacks. More importantly, they're talking points. This is how he entices us with food. He brings the samosa. He won't give it to us, though, until we talk about all the issues.
You know, no one wants to talk to me unless I give them food, so I figure this is the only way I can do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a good tactic here on this show.
That's right.
Food always works.
So well, I guess, so Travis, your samosa's first pick. Go ahead.
Ooh, okay. We got the real world.
We should do that with every segment here.
We should. Which samosa you going for?
Which samosa you want to talk about first?
We got the real world, Paris, and CBC.
Let's talk about the real world samosa.
Sure, Real World. Okay, so I'm sure your viewers know that at Real World's it's this fantastic festival that happens in Toronto every year, film festival. They have films from sort of all multicultural genres, all sort of segments of society, so it's a real good reflection of sort of Canadian filmmaking and what's going on. And the cool thing was they were really nice to me this year. I didn't even have to be nice to them. What happened was Shanti Baba Ram and the Dancers of Hope is a film that I composed the title track for, and it screened this year at Real World. And then there's another rock artist that I produced his album. He's been on the show as well, jsin.
That's right.
And his video premiere happened at Real World as well. So we had you know, again, reflection of the cultural thing. We had non-Indian filmmakers, and I provided a Bollywood track for them, and then we had an Indian rock artist and doing mainstream stuff, and both got picked up at Real World, so that was nice.
Is it hard to put on the different hat of rock producer versus Bollywood music producer?
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
question.
with this hair, it's hard to put on any type of hat.
Ching. Lovely. Well, we didn't bring a samosa to talk about your hair, sadly.
That's true.
That's too bad. But no, but seriously though, because you know you do work with so many different genres of music within your studio. Bollywood is like, you know, a beast amongst itself, yet alone the rock and roll that we have here as well. So really, how do you change from one to the other?
I think you know, actually, see, this is my metaphor with food. You know, see, I'll get to the question with a metaphor. So I eat samosas. I like samosas. They're great. I also like pizza, and I also like grilled cheese sandwiches. And I figure that's the way everyone should treat music too.
Yeah.
You know, in every genre of music, there's something good. And if you think there's nothing good, you just haven't looked hard enough, because, you know, a billion people can't be wrong in any genre, right?
Right.
So there's always something about Bollywood music that I like. There's always something about rock that I like. There's always something about jazz that I like. So I just draw upon the things I like when I work with an artist from that genre, and that way I love the project, they love the project, everyone becomes happy.
Okay, can we pick another samosa here?
Oh,
Let's
okay,
talk about
samosa number 2?
Samosa number 2, Paris.
Paris. Samosa number 2 for Paris. That is in honor of this singer I've been working with, Jennifer Abadesso. She's actually Portuguese-Canadian, and
Hey, we've got a Portuguese chef coming up
I
after
know.
Thank God, because I'm hungry now with all this talk of samosa.
she was trying to steal my samosas, but you know, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle, but I held her down. That's all right. Saved your samosas.
She's gonna come in here with a black eye.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, so let's talk a bit more about the Paris samosa. How did it all come
So
about?
the Paris samosa is that we did this track called "Did You Think?" Co-wrote with Jennifer. She's a great singer from Canada, and the track actually features Mocha Only from well, he's an artist in his own right. He was also famous from Swollen Members, and it charted in Luxembourg, and it charted in Portugal, and it charted in Paris. And why we picked Paris, well, particularly, was it hit #1 in Paris.
Right.
So that's, you know, so kudos to Jennifer for, you know, giving me a track that was so good to work on.
Well, kudos to you too, because of course recorded here in Mississauga, now #1 in Paris.
We're making international waves here in this town.
We are.
Well, and we should mention that fatlabs.com is the website, and fatlabs.com is your company. How did that all form?
It formed, well, I guess it comes down to, you know, I like music, and I thought there's got to be a better way than going into a cubicle every day to make a living. And I thought, you know, no offense to anyone in a cubicle, but come on, let's, you know, making rock and roll and working on film soundtracks, that's pretty good.
And do you like your gig?
I like the gig.
Yeah.
I like the gig so much that I'm always accused of being a workaholic, but, you know, it's one of those things. You know, if you're making music, how can you really call it work?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there could be worse things.
Yeah, there are worse things.
There could be worse things. Last Samosa, if you
I don't know if we should talk about this last Samosa.
Oh no, competing. Yeah,
it's got another network's name on it.
That's right.
We should cross it out and write Rogers on top of it.
So, well, I can let you guys first, you know, go on the, you know, smashing that samosa if you want. But
how about if that's just the first one we eat?
Let's talk about the rotten samosa.
Okay. So the CBC samosa is that, you know, coming back to the whole real world thing, the film Shanti Baba and Dance to Hope also got picked up by CBC and Showtime, and it actually started airing nationally this past weekend.
Okay.
So, you know, check your local listings and you'll be able to hear the track I did. And if you can't catch it on CBC, the track, there's a remix of the same title track available on the Fat Labs site. So if you go to fatlabs.com/download, did a remix with this artist by the name of Preeta Chabra, who I think has also been on the show. And if I'm wrong, then, you know, hit me or something, but whatever. But she's a great singer. We did a remix, and it's available for free download at fatlabs.com/download.
What does that national success mean for your studio?
Internationally delivered samosas, I think. But it's cool, you know. Actually, last night I was working with, I had an artist in studio, and I got a call from someone in Vancouver. So it's just those little things that, you know, the reach is now, you know, bigger than Toronto. I do get calls from India sometimes. I get calls from various countries. So getting a call like that is nice, and you get to do the international stuff.
Well, have you heard next year the big Bollywood Awards are going to be coming to the GTA?
That's right. You know, 2 years ago I had a track that was actually performed live at the Bollywood Awards that was in Bangkok. The 2008 IIFAs featured a Fat Labs produced track, and it was performed live with Vivek Oberoi. It was for the movie Mission Istanbul. I think I might have come on here and talked about that before. But so they're coming to my hometown now, so that's nice. And then I'll say, you remember me? You remember me?
Well, Bollywood is really, you know, fat in itself. It's really taking over right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, you know, it's like I said, a billion people can't be wrong, right? So that's it. It's fun music, right? Everyone knows, even if you can't understand what they're saying, they're clearly having fun, whatever they're doing in those films.
Yeah.
So.
We talked about the samosas in front of us.
Yep.
What samosas can we look forward to?
Oh no, future samosas. I didn't plan the cyborg samosa segment yet.
People are going to tune in right now and be like, what are they talking
samosas?
about?
Cyborg samosas.
Yeah. Sounds like an interesting conversation.
Let's see here. Well, I'm working with another artist by the name of Bandana Singh. It's actually a punk band. It's very cool. It's a trio punk band fronted by an Indian classical singer.
Talk about different hats.
So that's very, very cool stuff. There's another Indian classical artist by the name of Amit Arya who's based here in Mississauga.
Right.
And we're working on his album too. And there's another documentary called My Father the Terrorist that I composed the soundtrack for.
Okay.
And that's also, you know, well, another, I guess, you know, we've got the Mississauga angle for all these things, really.
Absolutely.
Tons of samosas. Vikas, always good to see you, bud. You're
good to have you around.
Interesting to see, and you've got great information. And you brought samosas today. If you want more information on Fat Labs, go to fatlabs.com, and we're gonna have the Portuguese chef in studio next, and hopefully she doesn't have a black eye. We'll be back.
Gonna fight.